Hello, this is B. I wanted to post something on Facebook and then I realized it was kind of long, so I decided to make a video on YouTube. So, what is it that we really need to know about ourselves to be set free? I believe we need to get rid of the lies, but let me explain what I'm trying to say, or at least I'm going to try to explain what the process I went through. So, obviously, I was raised in religion, and there was nothing good in me, more of God, less of me. I was a sinner, good for nothing, etc. So, I had to obviously come out of that to end low self esteem that was planted in my subconscious mind, I believe. So I went through and I talk about in my book Oneness, the revelation of God of how I was one with God through the Bible, the book of John. And so I went through low self-esteem to good self-esteem because finally I was one with God. So if I was one with God, then I was good. Basically I was good. So I went through a stage which I know many recognize, and I wish I could tell you it lasted a little bit, but it did not. It lasted a while. And you know a lot of teachers that are preaching or teaching these, and you know a lot of books out there, and a lot of sayings in Facebook and memes and everything about these. But a lot of it goes like this: we are our higher being. It's perfect spirit. I buy that. But I went through a stage where I was perfect. My higher being, it's me. My spirit is me. So I identified with perfection. And so we went through reality is not real. My reality is I am a perfect human being. So let's kill the ego, let's kill the mind and be my higher being. So what we're experiencing right now is not real. And then our reality is perfection and love and all that. So it is real. What I'm saying is true. I went through a stage. I guess I went from this side to totally the other side. But I've learned in the last 1 or 2 years that what's really going to set us free and what really is going to manifest heaven on earth and experience peace and joy is the middle ground. Yes, I am my higher being, but guess what? You're also your lower self, flesh being. So I don't believe in that theory or theology that says we got to kill the ego. And because it's you. The only way you're going to totally be your perfection, your higher being, your spirit, your heart, is if you're dead. Death. If you don't breathe, if you don't think, if you don't walk, if you don't eat, if you don't sleep, if you don't, etc., you get it. Because what? What if I overate? Then I'm not perfection. What if I didn't sleep enough? I'm not perfection. What if I thought the wrong things? Because we do still believe a lot of lies about ourselves, so that's not perfection. So what I'm trying to say, what we're experiencing now, it's real. So we are all of it, the entire package. We are flesh and we're spirit, but we're one, we're not two. So how do I explain this? In my book, Levels of Awakening, I go through big lens explaining the two hemispheres of our brains. So the two brains, they're one mind, they're one brain. So it sometimes feels like there's two of us inside of me. The Beatrice that still struggles physically and goes through pain and struggles and misery and, stuff and hurts and is oppressed, or the Beatrice that's the higher being that's completely perfection, that's completely perfect the way I am. So it feels like there's two of me inside of me, but it's really not two of me. It's two hemispheres of our brain. So, like I said on my book, Levels of Awakening, I explain it a lot better. But what I'm trying to say here is our mind, our thinking mind, or the ego mind, or the monkey mind, it's still you. This is my theology, and I believe that I'm closer to being a lot more set free, or more freedom, and I'm experiencing a lot more joy and freedom because I realize I am my higher being with all the wisdom. I realize we are a walking pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And the answers are always inside of us. And we, in my opinion, our feelings are so true. Our hunch feelings, our intuition, it's always right. The problem is that we in the West were not raised knowing how to reach inside, how to meditate and quiet the ego mind or quiet the monkey mind. And I think in the introduction of my new book, I did a video about this. But the way I do it, and a lot of people do it different ways, is meditation. And we got to hear to the spirit mind or my higher being to be set free in the physical, to set free my monkey mind, because the more lies I believe, the more misery I'm going to manifest. The closer we are to the truth that our spirit knows, the closer we are going to manifest heaven on earth effortlessly. So my point here is, you've got to be set free. You've got, and I'll go back to meditation, but you've got to be set free. You got to love all of yourself, your higher being, which I didn't know that I was also divine and love. So to get out of my old self-esteem, I had to learn that. But like I said, I went all the way to the other side. How about the middle ground? I am also the Beatrice that's struggling in the flesh and has a flesh mind. So yes, I am going to, you've got to accept all of you. And our hardest part maybe is approving or accepting and loving all of ourselves, loving all of our flesh, loving all of our Beatrice making mistakes. Beatrice not making all the right decisions all the time. Beatrice is still struggling with anxiety. Beatrice is still struggling with depression. We gotta love that. And just know that you're perfect the way you are. The only problem that we're experiencing struggles is because of all the lies we still believe. So the path, according to me, is meditation. So if you learn to quiet the mind, then you listen to your other hemisphere of your brain. You're at the right hand of God, the right part of the brain. If you cast on the right, I explain that way better in my book, Levels of Awakening. But the right hemisphere of our brain, it's my spirit mind, and the left is my, my flesh mind. So how sometimes you think you listen from God and you know that you know. Well, that was through your other hemisphere. So many people do many things, and I don't saying that my way is the best way. Whatever works for you works for me. But it's like you got to keep your mind busy. Does our physical mind ever get quiet? I don't think so. Maybe when we're asleep. I don't know. But my point is, it will only get quiet until you're dead. So we're not dead, and we want to experience, and we gotta listen to the word of God or the word of the Spirit or the word of, your higher self and the wisdom within. Because even Jesus said the kingdom is within. So you gotta keep your left hemisphere busy. So either you, I don't know if you've noticed, but sometimes you listen when you're taking a shower, when you're driving, when you're keeping that mind busy. A lot of people use mantras, and a lot of people, like the Catholics, use repetitive prayers. It's a kind of a mantra. And a lot of people use to focus on your breathing or to focus on anything else. For me, the easiest way is to use your imagination. As you're using your imagination, you're keeping your left hemisphere busy. And the way I do it is I imagine that I am going to talk to somebody that knows it all, that's going to set me free. You can imagine whatever. You can see Jesus. You can see God the Father. You can see, I don't know, whatever works for you. But I imagined like an older guy that really is so peaceful and so nice to me all the time. But I do imagine, some stairs and some doors, and I finally go, and I get to meet him, and sometimes just to look, and I get it all. But I've been doing this for so long, so I've got good at it. So 1 minute and I'm there. You might want to take your deep breaths and make the room a little bit darker. That's why the use of candles, because of the melatonin, and so it's the melatonin starts making your left hemisphere sleep. and then that's when we dream. So whatever works for you. But my point is, and then, I ask him, what am I doing wrong? Why am I feeling this way? And another way that I've been teaching in this new book, Learning to Love Yourself, I ask for you to meet your inner child. So she knows exactly what happened to you. She knows when and how she got stuck. She knows how she feels. That's totally, totally true. If she still feels unworthy, if she still feels not good enough, and that's it's been demonstrated that we leave from our subconscious mind 90% plus. So without thinking, So whatever was recorded, and your inner child at age 5, 6, 7, wherever she's stuck in, she believes in, that's what you're manifesting. So we got to fix that. We got to go to her and make things right and tell her the truth. You're good the way you are. You are divine. We've got all the wisdom. You're still struggling, and you're good where you are. It's just a process. Your mind has been recorded with a lot of lies. And that's why you're feeling the way you're feeling, because you feel inferior, because you don't do these, because you don't have enough of these, because you don't look this way. But all these are lies. But you are good at heart, and you are good enough, and you are perfect. It's just the lies you believe that's making you look like you're not perfect. Does that make sense? Because we really are good enough, and we really are good where we are. So I hope I explained a little bit about how I feel. I think it's true. If you're sick and struggling, it's real. I mean, nobody can tell me this is not real, because this is real. It won't be real till the day you die. Yes, it won't be real, definitely. But it is real now, and our struggles matter. And if we don't go inside and find the truth that's going to set us free, nothing's going to happen. So, because what was recorded in our minds is what's driving our lives. So my point in this video is to bring the whole picture, and that's really what's going to set you free and get rid of anxiety and depression. Is not that you're a perfect God, you're perfect in divinity, you're perfect in your higher being, your spirit inside, you're one with the spirit, or like many Christians says, Jesus in me, the hope of glory, and Christ in me. Yes, all that is true, but we're still here. I'm Beatrice, and you are whoever you are, and that's part of it. And that's why I like the yin yang, because it's both. You don't just accept the white, you accept the dark. And to me, I don't mean dark like in bad, because there's nothing good or bad. I've been trying not to judge for a long time. It's just the flesh, divine and flesh. But divine and flesh are one. I hope that explains it better. And that's when you accept yourself as you struggle, when you accept yourself with your subconscious mind, with your ego mind, that really it's needed to live on this earth. When people say you got to kill the ego, well, then you got to kill me, because you're never going to kill my monkey mind unless, I go through a car accident or something. I don't know, but no, it's impossible. I believe you can kill the lies that you still believe about yourself, and that's what's going to set you free, because a flesh mind driven by the truth, it's just amazing. And your mind is the one in charge of creating heaven on earth or hell on earth. It's up to us, depending on how many lies we still believe, or if our belief system is getting closer to wisdom, to total truth about ourselves. Because an example would be, I don't feel good enough. But the fact and the truth is that every human being on planet Earth is worth the same. There's not, better or worse. We're all different, and we all struggle with different things, and different lies were recorded in our subconscious mind depending where you were born. That's what the religion you received. So I invite you this week. This is not part of my book, but I invite you this week to accept all of you, who you are, and your reality in the flesh. It's real, and it matters. And it matters, and also your higher being matters. So make them one, make them friends. Let the Spirit lead, let the higher being lead. I think that's what's called the Spirit-led life. And like I said, I explain it way better in some of my books. But have a great week. Today's Monday, the beginning of 2020. And I hope you have a great rest of the week. Talk to you later. Have fun.